my fellow HHN obsessees, and welcome to the HHN Obsession Podcast, where we talk about all things HHN and obsess together over this amazing event. I am your host, JJ. With me, as always, the co-ghost, James.
James. And hey, I didn't know this. Celebrity birthdays, ghost of the day. Sam and Cat, they got the same birthday.
What?
That must have sucked. And then Aubrey Plaza, happy birthday, ghost of the day. Nick Offerman, on brand, same show. Jason Schwartzman, I don't know if he was on Parks and Rec, but happy birthday. And then Kevin Smith's daughter, Harley Quinn Smith, happy birthday. And happy birthday, Derek Jeter. You shot Jeter.
Ghost of the day. What? Ghost of the day. Ghost of the day. Something like that, right? Welcome back to our spooky week coverage for HHN34's original houses. Again, I don't know what to call this stuff. I just wing it. I just wing everything, honestly. But
not to be a broken record, but whenever there's a drop every day of the week, like in the industry, they call it a bomb. So I'm going with Jason Bomb. Oh wait, but that's not Steven Bomb. It's not all Jason. Bomb week.
It is a bomb week, and guess what, James? We're right at 10:34 Florida time, and I haven't looked at the phone yet. I haven't looked down at it to see if we got a notification. But
what do you got predictions?
Predictions? We got nothing. Like last time. No. I truly think that they will continue today. I hope when I turn this phone over, there will be something. What my prediction is, let's see. Well, we only got two options. We got the Vikings original house that's like in the wintertime, or we got that graveyard rumor that has that tree with the angel wings and the scythes. So
I hope it's that. That'd be cool.
I'll guess graveyard today.
934, they're doing the 34 thing. I'm thinking 34 flavors. Baskin Robbins house. That's my guess. Ice cream, you scream.
I'm sorry, everybody. James loves to guess things that are not actually reasonable.
It happens sometimes, though. We got the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids house. We got the Shrunken house yesterday.
I realized what you meant by that while I was editing the episode. I realized that you were talking about that you threw out a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids idea, and now we are being shrunk.
Yeah. I feel like I've done it a few times. It's probably a couple occasions that I've mentioned Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I totally didn't understand why you were so excited. And when I was listening to it, I was like, oh, it's because he guessed Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and now we're being shrunk.
Yeah. I nailed it. I'd be a millionaire if I was a betting man.
Good job, man. We got the horror version of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids combined with Sid from Toy Story.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gender swapped Sid.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes a stray dart will hit a bullseye. It happens.
All right, let's get this going. Let me look at my phone and see what happened. You ready?
Righto, let's do it.
Live reaction. Here we go. Oh, there is something. I'm gonna open it up. Here we go. Oh. That is interesting. Okay. All right. Today's house announcement is Grave of the Flesh. So it is the graveyard rumored one.
Ooh.
Welcome to your funeral, where it's about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter the underworld and be hunted by flesh eaters for eternity. Grave of Flesh.
First impression, based on the name, I'm thinking of a graveyard. And you know how mushroom systems are like, they got this pocket, but it's all one system under? What if it was like a melted super corpse?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty neat.
That's kind of, that's in Walking Dead, Dead City, the one with Negan and Maggie.
For real?
I think in season 1, there's like, in the sewers, there's like this morphed blob of just walkers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You see this though?
Yeah, it looks like a zombie fish man, like the creature, but he's a zombie. He wouldn't be a creature though, right? Grave of Flesh.
It looks like we're entering kind of a hellish, maybe like purgatory type of setting here. It's interesting how they said welcome to your funeral, because I have seen, I think from Legacy, that that was part of the rumor where we were actually going to be witnessing our own funeral. Like we would walk into the house and as ourselves see ourselves at our funeral.
They're gonna recycle that gravestone that says "tu."
If anything, I think that would be an El Artista. That would like be outside the house or something, like the manor.
Yeah,
There's not much to go off for this. I think I found out where people are getting the longer description. So let me look at that site.
because grave of flesh. That's another redundancy, right? Because there's already flesh in the grave, and they were promising immersion. That's another on the nose kind of thing. Interesting. Very on the nose this year.
So here's the longer description. Welcome to your funeral where things are about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter your grave and then pass through the gates of the underworld where flesh eaters who feed on the dead will be waiting for you. Get lost in their cavernous underground world where an endless gauntlet of flesh eating creatures will hunt you mercilessly for all eternity.
Oh man, now I'm picturing like a cave under a graveyard.
So
It's kind of
yeah,
cool.
it seems like we're gonna be at our funeral, get buried in a coffin, and once we're in the ground, we're going into this underworld of tunnels, which could represent just like a hellish landscape or
Hey,
even a purgatory setting.
we're returning to the marrow.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's kind of a movie that probably no one will know on here. Maybe they'll know it, but there's a movie
Shout out.
called Digging Up the Marrow by Adam Green, the guy who made Hatchet. One of my favorites, basically a mockumentary about these sightings around the world of creatures, deformed creatures that live in tunnels under cities.
Yeah, it's a cool one. And it there's a bunch of like deadpans in it that are like very hilarious, like
Yeah.
unexpected.
Highly recommend Digging Up the Marrow. If anybody has never heard of that movie, look it up. See if it's streaming anywhere. It's a fun one, and
Yeah, it's
it
Ray
definitely this
Wise.
definitely reminded me of that. So it says we'll enter our grave and then pass through the gates of the underworld. So yeah, it's like a hellish landscape. So how do you think they're gonna represent this in a house? From the rumored or from the speculation map, this is in a soundstage. This is one of the two originals that are in the sound stages this year, according to HNN and even Hollowed Out Horror. So
speaking
it's gonna
speaking of
be
hollowed out, I know how they do it practically. They do like the golf hole from Space Jam. It's that, the Bugs Bunny hole. I'm
oh
thinking
yeah,
like a root system of Bugs Bunny wormholes, but practically hollow out the ground, like dirt walls. I'm thinking. I'm not sure.
but I was just wondering how are they gonna create that in such a big venue? Like I picture huge sets when I think of sound stages, but with this description, all I'm picturing is tight claustrophobic tunnels under the ground.
They'll have to put a lot of turns, right? If you want to make it look closed in, a lot of left
Yeah,
and rights.
but if it's a lot of tunnels, that means it's gonna be kinda repetitive, and I don't want that, so I'm trying to picture what this could possibly be like if it is truly gonna be like a hellish setting with these, hellish creatures kinda crawling around everywhere. What
And they're not exactly zombies, right? They're flesh eating.
well, they're flesh-eating creatures that feed off of the dead, which is us, I think is what they're mentioning.
I wonder if it's a mislead, right? They want you to picture zombies, and then it's some kind of subterranean creatures,
Well, I mean, from this art, it is some kind of crazy creature. It's not a zombie.
right? Yeah, dried up fish or something.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one, man. This one, I'm not like gravitating toward it right away. Like for example, like the El Artista and then the Dolls one, like I immediately was like, oh, this is gonna be toward the top of my hype list, I think. And this one, I don't even know what to think of it, which doesn't really mean anything because like Darkest Deal was like number 6 on my hype list, and then that shot up. So I hope that's the case for this, where it doesn't really sound like too much, and then we get into the house and it's just this incredible idea, incredible setting and sets and all that.
Hey, that doll poster was really pretty. It's really well done. That one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's balanced. It's the texture on it. I like what they did with the font size and the layout. Very very good. They hired a graphic designer.
Yeah, they're really stepping up with the artwork this year. I think there was complaints about the possibility that they were using AI, so I think they switched a little bit this year to make
Nice.
it a little better. Oh,
Hey.
there's I didn't realize there's a city in the background. Wait,
Oh
is that
yeah.
a city? Oh
Oh
no, it's a graveyard. My bad. No, it's a
yeah. It's
graveyard.
just the headstones.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
Well, it's
well,
their city.
well, crap. I actually hope. I mean, it would make sense for there to be at least one big area of a cemetery that we're walking through.
I know I keep bouncing from idea to idea or like theory to theory. Now I'm
Hmm.
thinking this little demon guy, maybe he controls all the corpses and he like, how you possess one thing, maybe he can possess like a horde. That'd be cool if this is the main thing we're seeing and then later we see him like on top of a 20-foot like pile and he's the head of the pile.
Oh man. Okay, I see where you're going with that. I mean, it says flesh eaters who feed on the dead, and these creatures hunt you mercilessly for all eternity. So I think it is going to consist mostly of these creatures, which
Hmm.
again worries me. Like it sounds a little repetitive. I hope it's not. I hope they're able to change it up some, which they probably will. I hope there's like a variety of these creatures somehow, like you're saying, like some big boss level style
That is cool, yeah.
creature at the end.
Yeah, arrange the house like a boss battle. Scale it up. That'd be neat. I like it. Some houses have done that, right? It gets bigger as it goes. I mean, a lot of them do that.
Okay, I'm gonna
Not
look at what everybody's saying real quick.
not bad. Poster's decent. It's not ugly. Color's a little flat, but it's designed well. Good texture. Yeah, it's no triplets.
It is no triplets. You are right. Again, that was the big one that everybody was like, "That looks AI."
Dude, they scribbled on the back of a paper plate and they did not improve it. It was one of the triplets barbecue plate. They just flipped it over, scribbled final, turn it in.
Okay, so there is definitely a mixed bag of reactions to this that I'm seeing. A lot of it is first house I feel met about. This looks cool. This looks fine. Nothing exciting. Nothing unique. This is an all timer to me. Love the concept. Seems hella scary. I don't get the hype. So there's a lot of back and forth on this one. And that's the first time I've seen that this year, I think, at least
Hmm.
to this extent. It's this mixed of a bag. I think it's just because, like I said, it seems like it would be repetitive a little bit, and we can't really grasp on what they're trying to do here. Uh, Somebody's first reaction is, "We remain so effing back."
Because of this is the pivotal,
Yeah,
the
I
turning point.
guess. I guess.
They're just happy they didn't get
N-
abandoned again.
Nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, there's still people being sort of negative. Like, somebody should say that. Like, hey, we got something today. Hey, you're getting
yeah,
HHN. The announcement could have been that post from 2020.
yeah. Put them in their place. Be happy.
Shout out Spooky Bits from the forums. Even though we only have 4 out of the 5 originals announced, this is the most excited I've been for the original house lineup. And I kind of feel that way too, honestly. This house lineup is turning out to be pretty good so far. Even with this one, like I'm cautiously optimistic about this one because I have a feeling it's going to be different than what we think it's going to be, or at least what I think it's going to be.
Well, did we have a graveyard yet on our bingo list? Not that we have a bingo list, but like of all the variety we got, is that
Remember, this was that weird icon that had the wings and the scythes that we kept trying to figure out for like
that's this one?
4 spec maps. That's this one, yeah. But
Okay.
the last spec map had it as a tree with skulls under it, and then it was surrounded by the angel wings and the scythes.
Dang,
So,
dude. Well, this is definitely not an angel element. We're underground. Angels versus demons. We're on their turf. There's been ranges of
oh,
houses, right?
this is the TikTok music they picked for the TikTok video announcement, which is just the artwork with music behind it, basically. But this is the music they picked. Whoa, there's like growls behind it.
Mosh pit or what?
Yeah, they're going metal with it.
Now I'm thinking of mosh pits. There's the wall of death. You got the pit of death.
Just a mosh pit of the dead and ghouls and
Yeah.
creatures and whatever. So I really like that this is going for this graveyard undead idea because we talked about it with El Artista, the whole kind of graveyard thing. We missed graveyard games in 2019, and that apparently was the best house as an overall consensus was the best house that year. Very beautiful house. It's a house that gets talked about all the time. So I'm excited to see something that would bring us back to a graveyard. I was kind of hoping that would be in an El Artista, how the manor would maybe have a graveyard in the back or on the side of it or something. But now that we have this, I feel like we are going to see a graveyard in this house, and I hope the sets are beautiful for this one.
You know how you thought the gravestones were a city? I don't think I've seen that before. You know, like a little cityscape, but it's the dead people's city, but it's gravestones. That could be a useful silhouette for a short.
Check it out. So Chad, he made a little mistake on the post on Twitter.
Did
So in the description, it says house announcement grave of the flesh, but the artwork says grave of flesh. Let's see. So HHN34, aka Mayhem on Twitter, asked, "Is it grave of flesh or grave of the flesh?" And Chad responded with, "It's just grave of flesh, no edit button." So the title is Grave of Flesh, not Grave of the Flesh.
did Chad say my bad?
He didn't.
He said my Chad.
You know what we haven't talked about this season is
Hmm.
smells.
Oh yeah. Oh no, with the flesh.
Yeah, like
Uh,
the rotting flesh, dead bodies under the ground in a
ooh,
cemetery.
throw in some sweat.
This could be stinky, and I think we can also get that soil smell that was in Darkest Steel. I hope that comes back because for some reason that smell is kind of nostalgic to me for Horror Nights. I don't know why, but as long as it's not like that rotting flesh smell like we got in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or I'm sorry, it was the body odor smell from the scare actors,
Right, of course.
according to our unmasking guide, which we didn't believe. We just went with it. Somebody brought up for yesterday's announcement, the Doll's House, that I don't know why it was brought up, but they were like, "Do y'all think this is gonna be the house that has the poop smell this year?" I'm like, "So the little girl smears poop on her walls or something? Why would that be the poop smell house?"
That's why the dolls came to life. They were sick of it. It was like enough smearing, enough with the smears. How do you like it? And they got her. That was unprompted, huh? Why are they assigning poop smells to this one?
I don't know. Here's another thought that just came to mind. Do you remember how Poltergeist was the haunted house where we first entered through the pool, it went underground, and there was all the corpses because the house was built on a cemetery. There was all these corpses popping out of the ground. I assume this is going to be similar. I wonder if there's even similar sets that they'll be using that they recycle for this, if there is something like that that they keep around.
Well, everyone's talking about harkening back to OG Halloween, right? Like classic aesthetics and stuff. And here we got like pretty classic zombies.
But
I
you see,
would I would assume.
I don't think this is going to be classic zombies. That's not what this description says. What it's implying is it says the dead, but I think it's implying us because we're visiting or we're seeing our own funeral. We're seeing ourselves being buried into the ground, into
Hey,
our own casket. And then there's these creatures that feed off of the dead that are stalking us down in hell, was what it sounds like.
I think I had mentioned like a fight for your soul. I don't know, but
Are
if
you trying to
it's
give yourself more credit again?
yeah,
Do
give
you
me the credit.
think do you think they're stealing from you this year?
Yeah, dude, they're spying. They got me on tap with the ideas.
But yeah, like I was saying, I don't think this is a zombie haunted house. I really don't. Not from the description, from what it's saying. I think we're just dead. We're in our funeral, and these creatures are going to be stalking us that feed off the dead. I would say ghouls, but these don't look like ghouls. They look like some kind of, I don't know.
And that makes sense if they're hunting us, the fresh meat. We're like freshly
Yeah,
dead. They need food. Here we are. It's feeding time.
it's welcome to hell without saying it's hell.
Or on your way to hell, they strip you. They make you sure you're a skeleton.
Yeah.
They make sure you got nothing, no resources.
As far as Twitter goes, it looks like the response is a lot better from Twitter. Everybody's kind of excited for it. That's good. All right. Any last thoughts on this one, James? Before we go,
Grave of the Fireflies. Let me see. Oh wait, no. Flesh. Let me think.
Firefly. Hey, there's no the. Remember?
Oh yeah, Grave of Flesh. Well, I'm sure my random thoughts are not accurate, but that's hard to say because sometimes they're weirdly close.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a mushroom system of zombie possessions. Unless it's just a bunch of little cave dwellers, like it's looking like, and that's the design, and it's multiple of the same thing. I'm kind of less into that.
Yeah.
I
Let's
like,
let's hope it's not that. I don't want to see the same creature over and over again.
yeah,
Uh,
I feel like they could just do that
but
and call it a day.
I'm gonna give them credit and say they're not doing that. They're gonna give us a variety. But you also keep mentioning zombies, and I don't think we're seeing zombies in this. I think it. I
Flesh
think
eaters specifically. Okay.
yeah. I think, and the flesh eaters are these weird looking fish creatures that are in the artwork. But
I guess they're demons.
if we see anything that resembles a zombie, I feel like it's just gonna be like stuff sticking out of the ground that represents the cemetery, all the dead
Yeah.
bodies there. I think that's the extent that we'll see of zombies. Is what I get out of this.
I know we are the victims going through it, but I wonder
Mm-hmm.
how they're going to emulate that. Like, is there going to be a track representing our screams or something, like our experience? I hope not. I hope
That
it's like,
that is kind of what I'm wondering too. Like, how are we gonna go from our funeral into the ground?
and they can't single us out. We have to be like a collective entity, experience this thing as one, you know?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, I wonder how they will go about that. Going to the funeral setting, to the graveyard, to what is probably going to be the majority of the house, the underground tunnel system or hellish setting. We'll see. I'm sure they have something up their sleeve. I have good faith in this year with ILO coming back. So let's talk about this again just real quick before we go. Overall, what do you think of the original lineup so far, and how different everything is this year? So El Artista, Spanish Manor, haunted house or artist starts going mad. Hatchet and Chains, something that we sort of know of from Slaughter Cinema 2, but it is now getting a full on blown up story. And then Dolls, Let's Play Dead. And now this Grave of Flesh. It's a good variety. Haunted Manor with ghosts, some demon bounty hunters in the Old West, an Old West setting, creepy dolls and toys, where we get shrunken down to toy size. And now we're going to our own funerals and going into a hellish underground tunnel system.
It's a proper potpourri.
There's your word. You got to bring it back. Potpourri.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that means a mixture of things, but it's a potpourri of it.
Well, when they start dropping smells, even better.
Yeah, that's what Hatchet and Chain smelled like actually in Slaughter Cinema. It smelled like potpourri a little bit,
Hmm.
didn't it? It was like that rosy smell.
Oh yeah.
All right, everyone. That's going to cover today's announcement. I feel like we didn't really talk about it too much. And I stress when I'm editing, I stress a little bit like, is this entertaining enough? Like, did we actually make good points, a good conversation with this? I always doubt myself, but I hope this was interesting enough. I'm excited for Grave of Flesh. I'm excited for everything so far. It is toward the bottom for me currently for all the originals, just because I don't know what to expect, and I'm sure you feel the same way, James. But I think this, just like all the other ones, has great potential as long as they pull it off right, which I have faith. I have faith.
What did one banana say to the other?
I'm gonna pill you.
I yellow. I yellow.
On that note, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Please follow us on all our social medias: Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, and Threads at HHN Obsession. And if you enjoy our podcast, please, please, please take a short amount of time and go give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It really, really helps us out. We hope to see you tomorrow for the last OG announcement, for the Friday announcement. We'll see what happens. We got one more, apparently, James, for the week.
As far as we know.
As far as we know.
Y'all better be excellent to each other.
And don't forget to move the headstones.
You're damn right. Just wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while, giving you the hip at your face now. Wait a while.
Hey everyone, just wanted to give a quick shout out to my good friend Zach Weber, who provided our intro and outro song, Heebie Jeebies. You can listen to the full version of Heebie Jeebies on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or anywhere where you listen to your favorite music. Thanks for listening.